Hey everybody, this is Limitless KRGNN and we're doing another toy review this week, and this is from Bandai, Soul of Chogokin, and this is the Leopardon and Marvelin summoning set, and this is from the 70s live action of Toa. With partner at the time was they did a 3-year partnership with Marvel, with Stan, and did this live action remake of Spider-Man. And how it's like the origin of Spider-Man is totally different. It's a crazy live action tokusatsu show. It's a really cool show, and it's one of the first when it comes to the whole idea when it comes to Megazords and all that in Japan. It was that idea was around the time with Stan Lee and Marvel and Toa, brain got to, just that kind of brain idea that made an idea for Megazords. And after that, Super Sentai became real. After that, I think Toa did Super Sentai and started adding giant robots, because what kid would not like giant robots? So I think that's kind of cool that in the way Marvel with Stanley helped out with the idea. But yeah, so this is the summoning set with a Marveler, and it also has the communicator, and it comes with a little tiny Spider-Man and his a vehicle that actually goes into the Megazord and all of that. And this is a Shogun. So that means it has parts that's plastic with metal, die-cast metal. So just keep that in mind. And of course, I'll tell you how much and where in the end of the video. But yeah, so let's open this big up and get a better look inside. Alright guys, so this is all the accessories that it comes with. Let me open this up. Put this to the side right now. So this thing comes with a lot of accessories. It actually comes with a little tiny Spider-Man, and he's posing right there, and he actually has his little gauntlet summoning machine right there. I don't know if you can see that. Try to focus. Okay, that's really cool. And then it comes with his Spider Super. I think it's Spider 7. There's a word for it. Hold on, let me get it. So, Spider Machine GP7, I think that's what it's called. This is the vehicle that he uses to take in places. Also, this thing actually flies, and it goes behind the Mamalin to, so he can go into his Spider Mega, his Mega Shoot, his Megazord. It'd be cool if they actually had the little Spider-Man character in here, because I know Hot Wheels came out with one. And he's right there in the middle, sitting down. But this one's a little bit different compared to the Hot Wheels one. I actually have the Hot Wheels one, but I have mine sealed, so I can't actually show the difference. I know they came out with like 2 versions, one a basic one and a Comic-Con one for the Hot Wheels one. This one tries to capture more of the show, but the Hot Wheels one's a little bit more slicker. And I noticed in when I've seen photos of the vehicle in the live action, his car's a little bit more slicker. This one's a little bit more bulkier, but it's still pretty nice. This one actually tries to capture more of the show when it comes to like paint wise and detail. But yeah, and the Corona is really nice. So I'll put this on the side. And here is Machine 7 tiny version, and this thing is really small, like really tiny, and it goes behind Mamalin, behind his head, and actually talking. It kind of reminds me of a Big O when Roger Smith used to put his vehicle underneath his feet. But this thing is so small. It's really cool. The other stuff is just, prosthetics for the arms and legs and all that. I think it's for this. And this is the stand itself. And the cool thing is, I like what Shogun does is for some of the stuff they actually have for you can put away your stuff. And it looks really cool. And it actually has a shape where you can put the robot and even Spider-Man right there. And this is nice. The whole shiny. I really like that. The sword itself is plastic, but it does has a nice chrome to it. It's a plain sword, but it looks really cool. I'm just going to use it to pick up the shield. The shield itself is also nice, plastic, solid, with the little spiderweb design. It has this little thing so you can hold him in the back. And then he has all his hands right there, and I guess extra parts to change him, if I'm not mistaken. And this is part of the stand. You guys can see that. That's just part of for the stand itself. Now the really cool part is the gauntlet, the wrist, the communicator system. This is pretty much what lets him summon Mama Lin, or his Spider Megazord. And this thing, Shogun's not usually known for doing stuff like this, so the fact that he did this was just to show you that they really, really like, you know, Spider-Man, and they want to go all the way, and yeah, this thing is, I'll be honest, very beautiful, very beautiful. They did such a good job capturing it. I don't actually have any other version of it, so I can't really compare it, but man, this really does look like it's from the show, and it has that kind of like nostalgic of the 70s futuristic, how they, you know, they perceive the future, or when it comes to advanced technology. But this thing looks sick. And what I read the instructions is that it lights up right here where the green is at, and then these little ball, well, those little tiny little balls, and then the speaker, when I heard it, sounds around here in the back. On and on switch is right here, and we'll test out right now. But first, let's actually look at the Megazord itself. Alright guys, so let's test the articulation. So this is a Shogun. So in other words, there's going to be a light die cast parts into this. It has die cast mixed with plastic. I'm not a fan when it comes to plastic mixed with die cast, because it's you're clashing plastic with metal, and you have to understand plastic over time decays and breaks. It's especially with so much force. So now imagine that with metal. So yeah, so pretty much what I can see, the inner part of the legs is metal, die cast metal. The hip, right here, this part is metal. The stomach is metal. The chest is metal, plastic. The arms are plastic. Now, arms actually switch. There's two versions of these hands, actually. These, I have the ones that are for more articulation. These are for poses, stands for this figure. So that's why these look a little bit thinner. And the other ones are more for, like, if you wanted to capture more of the old classic kind of toy line, or the show when it's a little bit more bulkier with the transforming part. But yeah, so I'll be honest, the paint and the scope on this thing is very beautiful. It has a really nice glossiness because technically they die cast, so it gives it more of an effect. Also, the plastic does have a nice weathering, like a airbrush, you know, paint style to it. The nice web design is really nice too. The figure itself, like I said, it has articulation, but there is some limit to it. When it comes to the head, I just triggered the little fire trigger thing from its head, from the V part of its head. So its head actually fires. There's a little trigger right there behind, but it's very sensitive. I move the head, or even the visor itself, and it does fire it up. Like like you just saw right now. I just touched the visor and I just lost a piece. That's the worst hearing you hear when a tiny piece falls underneath somewhere when you're doing this. For any collector or anything, or even when you do model kits and the piece just falls underneath the table, it's like the worst thing you can ever hear. But yeah, so I'm not gonna mess with that right now. I'll look for it right now, but let's just do it without, because it's so sensitive. Without that, the head actually turns all the way around. It's pretty cool. I just really don't like that part because it's really sensitive. I wish it was a little bit more designed, at least more enforced, at least more, you know, I wish they did a little bit better job, just for the price range of this thing. So again, this is the more articulated arms, so it does have better articulation compared to the other ones that are actually fully die cast. You just want to see that. That's how this is. It's fully die cast. The whole part's die cast. It does do the transform this transforming part when it's about to turn into its ship mode. This is more die-cast with a little bit of plastic, but this is to make it look more bulkier, like a ship, or you know, to give it that classic vibe. So like you guys can see that he does turn around like this. It's not bad. His hands do pop out and in, but the pressure is very sensitive, so I feel like it could pop or break the little plastic stick part. Just keep that in mind. Because this is one plastic part, one plastic, yeah, right. This is one plastic. The hip itself cannot turn, but I do feel like it has a little bit of an articulation when it comes to that part right here. Not a lot, just a little bit, but it is limited because of the design. Just keep that in mind. He does move forward, but that's how much. And then to the side, that's how much. And then to the back, that's how much. I could probably force it more. I just don't want to. Because I've seen other people who have this toy or similar Shogun, they break over time. So his leg does bend all the way around. You guys can see that. Almost all the way around. I can't do it. But I think it does have a board joint, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. No, it doesn't. It's just back and forth. So there's no swivel for the leg itself, but the feet does. Has some swivel. It's actually, the board joint is actually metal. The feet itself is metal. That's crazy. You think that would be cool, but it actually brings more, there's more friction, more force into it, so it's harder. You have to keep moving it around to make it looser over time. But yeah, that's it when it comes to the articulation. It's not a lot because half of this figure is die cast, so just keep that in mind. So there is some limit to it, but it's more for prosthetics, more for look and actual articulation. It does have articulation, but this is to capture more of the classic line and the classic style of the original toy line, but just modernize it more. But yeah, that's it when it comes to this. Alright guys, so now let's try to transform it. I am going to speed up the process in the video, so my hand's probably going to look a little bit fast because, you know, I just want to rush transforming in it. But yeah, so you guys don't get bored as well. Alright guys, so the vehicle part actually goes right behind the head. Move this to the side a little bit. You open this baby up, he slides in, and that's how he gets in his ship. That is just so cool. It's so simple, small, but it's just awesome that it does that. It has that function for that size, but yeah. Alright guys, so the gauntlet itself, the communicator gauntlet. So on and off switch is right here. You're gonna hear a sound. Spider-Man. And then when this is closed, it triggers one sound effect. When it's open, it triggers another sound effect. And there's a sound effect. We push the button and then of the theme, and then this you press it twice, it makes it a summon a Momolen, the Megazord. So Now, I can't play the whole theme song because I'll get copyright through YouTube, but if you want to hear it, I know someone has already posted it on YouTube, the opening song. It's very catchy. It's like it has a 70s vibe to it, and I freaking like it. I love it. It's really cool. So, yeah, it triggers a sound effect when you open it, too. That's the sound it makes when he's summoning his Megazord. That's really cool. And then you push this button right here, it triggers theme song as well. It resets it back to the same thing, but now with the added sound. And then you press it twice. Wait, it's a little tricky. I think it's twice. There we go. And it's him, Spider-Man, shouting out his Megazord mount. Well, let's hear that again. Babala. Babala or Babalan? I don't know. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the function wise. It has the sound effects when you open it, of the theme. And then this just resets it. There's no like secret. So it has the opening theme song of Spider-Man. It has a trigger sound, and it has the sound, the music for summoning his Megazord. And then the second function, you push it in, and it's Spider-Man shouting out the Megazord's name. But that's pretty much it. But that's really cool. Now, when it comes to the detail, the scope on this thing is beautiful. The paint is beautiful, but technically in the show, it's more of a shiny metal color. But honestly, I dig this more. It just looks, for me, it looks more nicer. But this thing also has a nice weight to it. It actually does fit. It's meant for adults, so it does fit me. I'm just going to have this baby display. Have the off-on switch. Have a display like this. It looks really cool. I think I'm going to keep this just to protect the sticker cover over it. It's really cool. It's one of the reasons I really wanted to get this Shogun, because of this one piece. It's just so cool. But yeah. Alright guys, so let's talk about the good about this. So I'm going to start with the negativity. It lacks articulation because it's die cast. Some of the parts feel like very flaky. It will break, so keep that in mind. It's not 100% accurate. Like, it doesn't look really cool, like a cool robot. It looks bulky, but I'm thinking it's purposely done like that to capture more like a 70s, 80s kind of toy compared to the other Shogun lines they've done in the past. So I'm thinking that's why they did with this. I know they came out with a model kit version of this. It goes for a pretty expensive price because it looks really nice. I have seen it online. That's the only negativity about this. It does come with a lot of amazing accessories, and especially the communicator, the little Spider-Man, and the vehicle. I think that's just cool. Just keep in mind for those kind of negatives about it. That's the only negative I have about it. So price range, it goes from about to $130 to $140 to almost $200. I got mine for like $140 with shipping included, so that was not a bad deal. I got it a couple years ago. I had it put away, and I decided to open it and mess around with it. So I really love this. I really love this. And just that it has the gauntlet, the communicator slash where he keeps his costume and control Marmalade. Just an extra bonus. I'm gonna definitely have that part displayed. I really like that. So I hope you enjoy this. This is Limiters KRGNN. Like I always say, any way to help the channel out, leave a thumbs up, comment, thumbs up, any way to help the channel out. And like I always say, adios and keep on collecting. Bye.